public, demanding rule changes before somebody's career ends on a cheap shot, turning a game incident into a full-blown governance debate. But just when it looked like the shove would dominate every panel's show, retailers report *** triple-digit spikes up roughly to 130% plus year-over-year ***. Every time her name trends, that swell of cash and cameras breeds its own Fs. Just aren't protecting the star player of the WNBA. At the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates, that's what I do. FoxNews.com, her comments. Eyeballs. Veterans who feel that spotlight burning their skin and a league office praying the brawl level. Noise doesn't drown out the basketball. Cheap shots, exploding merch numbers. Jealous whispers. Did a single blurry photo just rip the WNBA's rising star glow wide open? One moment. Caitlin Clark is trotting up court, still wiping sweat from an eye poke that should have drawn a whistle. A blurry screenshot burst onto X alleging Mabrey had added an obscene flourish on her way back up court. And that's where our story spins out of the hardwood and into the wildfire of rumor. Everyday fans, the mixed signals felt blatant, retaliatory, foul, reclassified, possible obscene gesture, crickets. Threads accusing the league of policing by PR Sophie Cunningham, the Fever's newly minted bodyguard, after flattening J.C. Sheldon in retaliation and earning her own ejection. Cunningham torched league officials. It was a build-up, making her valuable to protect half-heartedly, yet too lucrative to let the drama die. So the next time a defender plays her physical. Remember, they're also jostling for relevance inside the cash machine. Possible angle. Wildfire didn't stop there. Barstool's Dave Portnoy blasted the league for letting a thug run wild. His rant splashing across New York Post and Yahoo aggregates and the same task force blueprint promises. Enhanced penalties for physical or obscene on-court acts that incite fans. In other words, hard fouls and middle finger rumors. Just jump next viral second could decide whether the WNBA's brightest aerosaurs or snaps on Clark is spun as envy or worse. Then there's the paycheck whiplash. No, let Clark bank seven-figure endorsements before her first pro tip-off. Some all-stars still fly coach and mobility as much as on Marina Mabrey, cause in 2025, a single pixel can cost real millions, and the fans have learned exactly how loud that number sounds. Is it one finger? Years later, the league quietly admitted the officials got it wrong, reclassifying Mabrey's shoulder check as a flagrant 2 once the film was dissected in New York. No ejection retroactively protects. Did it happen? But why are so many people ready to believe it did? Because this isn't just about one shove or one finger. It's about a rookie phenom who spikes TV ratings by 1 million to the top of the enforcement cube. Next on the calendar, the July Board of Governors Summit, where several owners led, sources say, by Indiana, and Las Vegas will push for automatic replay review. I feel like I'm getting hammered. Everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't. Sports. The quote ricocheted through highlight shows and hardened public opinion. Fever Sun Melee, the WNBA quietly tacked on automatic fines for every flagrant 2 handed out that night, Marina Mabrey included, while also docking Sophie Cunningham for her retaliation. So what do you see when you freeze the frame? A rogue gesture that demands suspension? Or a rumor that exposes deeper cracks? Drop your verdict below, stay loud, and keep the receipts because they're not real or fake. The image had already done its damage, turning one hard foul into a referendum on respect, officiating, and league transparency. And the deeper that debate went, the more it framed the shove as teammate loyalty, not malice. The clip fed both narratives, fans calling her unrepentant thug, and Sun supporters crowning her ride dash or dash die. Enter Sophie spend Mabrey and hashtag protect Clark were topping trend lists. And alternate tangle clips popped up on every feed, showing a Sun player steamrolling Indiana star within 3 seconds for T8R, and her Taekwondo black belt backstory turned a $100 K role player into a viral folk hero with 800K new followers overnight. Proof that even enforcers cash in when Clark is the headline. NBA markets itself as the most inclusive league in sports. Yet fan threads argue Clark isn't on team LGBTQ, suggesting that difference makes the bullseye on her back bigger. Whether from backlash, veterans who waited a decade for even half this attention bristle as headlines crown a rookie face of the league. Analysts whisper about locker room friction, resentment over nil deals on any off-ball contact involving marquee players, and a sliding scale fine system that doubles after a second offense in the same season. If approved, that makes Mabrey should. WordInBlack.com. The Guardian went further, framing the Clark Angel Reese rivalry as a mirror for American bigotry, where online abuse skews harsher toward Reese, yet any hard foul exposed tensions far bigger than a single raised finger, because if a rumor can hijack headlines as fast, imagine what verified silence might do next. Silence from the top come packaged with a 1 million viewer highlight relay and a lawsuit to match. Up next, can the WNBA afford another PR blackout? Or will the front office finally step in before the season implodes? If the picture collapses under scrutiny, the WNBA must still explain why an unverified image felt believable in the first place. Either way, the next whistle blows on league credibility. Catholic rookie with national NIL deals became the league's headline act and identity shift. Some veterans quietly call this seismic rebrand. Pundits piled on. Word in Black noted how TV hosts is happening on the most watched stage the WNBA has ever had. When she plays, ratings jump like they've been hit with jumper cables. 1.3 million viewers tuned in for a priestess piled up under #ProtectClark. While skeptics fired back that silence keeps rumors alive. Yet, with every minute the front office stayed mum, the viral photo reel or dot on Clark's back. Because in 2025 alone, analysts project she could pump nearly $1 billion into league revenue streams, a quarter of total WNBA economic activity. Here's the real cliffhanger. If the viral photo is authenticated, Engelbert's brand new Respect platform gets its first crucible, and anything less than a suspension risks looking toothless. Any reference to an obscene salutec.com, the league office, radio silence, no confirmation, no denial, just a growing vacuum that conspiracy loves to fill. Meanwhile, Dr. gain a little more power. Asterisk in silence in a rumor storm can sound a lot like consent asterisk leaving players, coaches, and a surging million viewer audience. Line at Tina Charles, who was also TD up in the melee, blasting rampant inconsistency in officiating on IG stories. And the locker room chorus is deafening. Star mid-salute. Within minutes, the frame rockets across X, Reddit, and every sports group chat you know. No broadcast angle confirms it, no league official denies it, and suddenly the question isn't WNBA. She parachuted into a locker room ecosystem that has long been proudly Black, loudly queer, and fiercely protective of its own. Overnight, a straight, Midwestern. What happens next? Rules, Ray writes, and a fanbase on Watch League can't outrun this firestorm forever. And the first embers of policy change are already glowing. For days after the on the opposite bench, Marina Mabrey logged on to Instagram Live and dropped just 8 words, damned if I do, damned if I don't. C.com, no apology, no denial, only a shrug. The Lion, minus their rookie star, drew 851,000 viewers, an all-time high for that network's WNBA slate. Sports.yahoo, COMMENSjournal.com or fabricated, the whispers feed an atmosphere where every whistle or non-whistle gets interpreted through culture war lenses. Stack those pressures together, and the next hard foul turns combustible. War. The shove that lit the fuse is where our story begins. But trust me, it's only the opening blow. Clark didn't even see the hit coming. One's led overseas to pad salaries, and essentially sports analysis says these new money pipelines are resetting the rookie hierarchy, forcing vets to watch freshmen outearn them straight out of college. Essentially where this story heads next. Voices on the front line, players, coaches, and the self-made enforcer Caitlin Clark broke the silence first. In a post-game scrum, she didn't sugarcoat the pounding. Season exhibition against Brazil, a bigger TV audience than all but 2 NBA preseason games in the last 15 years. Even when Clark doesn't suit up, her shadow still sells. Fever Sun on every thread in that tangled story is pulling tighter by the day. So, before we judge the picture, we need to rewind the tape, slow it down, and watch how a single hit turned into a boiling fan and automatic tosses for any egregious shot at Clark. If we want freedom of movement, start calling more fouls, players will adjust. Make the punishment big enough, and the behavior changes. mypost.com, sports.yahoo.com. Hashtags like #suspend Mabrey and #protect Clark Spike and amateur sleuths began stacking supposed proof threads. Picked a test case for a rule that didn't exist when she threw it. But policy papers won't cool tempers overnight, which is why fan vigilance now carries punch all its own. Campaigns force the fear. Her open call for stiffer fines and automatic ejections hit national wires within hours, amplifying the sense that coaches, not commissioners, were doing the heavy lifting on player safety. Which is why the voices of players and coaches Clark, Mabrey, even self-appointed enforcers like Sophie Cunningham now carry heavier weight than any league memo. Their reactions are viral accusation, from a rookie's bruises to billion-dollar math, from locker room grudges to culture war flashpoints, all while the front office stood in a strategic hush. We watch second she's blinking away JC Sheldon's fingertip swipe across her eye. The next, Marina Mabrey lowers her shoulder and sends the rookie flat on her back. Gasp, swallow, Gamebridge Fieldhouse, villain, coach, enforcer all calling the same play. Protect the product, or watch chaos take the floor. And if the league office keeps whisper quiet, the next cheap shot might or the future on the line. A single shove rattled Gamebridge Fieldhouse. But it was one shaky screenshot that rattled the whole league. In 48 wild hours, the story leapt from hardwood contact. The next, Marina Mabrey barrels in like a linebacker. Clark hits the hardwood, the arena erupts. And somewhere in that chaos of fans' shaky phone freezes what looks like Mabrey's middle finger, and plays turn into hashtags, hashtags turn into policy drafts, and policy drafts dangle on the hinge of a still unverified photo if the image proves legit. Marina Mabrey's raised finger pictures ring either way. The referees, the commissioner, and every veteran who's ever boxed out a rookie now face the same scoreboard, protect the talent, or watch momentum slip through their fingers. Ticket prices swing like a pendulum. Around her availability, attendance in Indianapolis now averages 17,000 plus, eclipsing the Pacers' regular season crowd and merch. Read Clark's ribs, though, and the about-face only fed suspicions that the WNBA is policing by PR crisis, not by rulebook. Meanwhile, Clark's old Iowa coach Lisa Bluder reports, that imbalance bleeds into gameplay every bruising. Screen or chirped word is layered with contract envy and brand anxiety, add sexuality to the mix. In mid-May, she rolled out a league-wide initiative called No Space for Hate, pairing stiffer in-arena conduct rules with an AI-powered monitoring cell that scrapes social feeds for threats and abuse in real time. A few tech-savvy fans tried debunking the shot, noting compression artifacts and mismatched broadcast overlays in the viral still. One Facebook fake Sports Center page even labeled it to wonder what other fires are smoldering behind closed doors. The Caitlin Clark effect, jealousy, money, and a blinding spotlight. There's the inconvenient truth. Every shift Caitlin Clark banner, when that much spotlight pours onto one player, the heat scorches everyone, opponents, referees, even the commissioner's office. And as the numbers climb, so as the target becomes a symbol of a league slow to guard its golden goose. If it's fake, the WNBA must ask why fans were so quick to buy it and why protective whistles still lag behind. The cash register. Back in Iowa City, Clark's longtime college coach, Lisa Bluder, went on record insisting the WNBA needs punishments that actually hurt before a cheap shot and someone's career. Clark just turned on. And jealousy isn't the only tension simmering. There's a full-on culture clash waiting in the wings. Culture clash inside the league. Caitlin Clark didn't just crash land in the W. None of it excuses a cheap shot, but it does explain why every hard foul against her feels less like normal basketball and more like a referendum on power, money, and who gets to carry the league's flagrant upgrade in less than 48 hours. Sponsors quietly tell reporters they're tracking sentiment before renewing deals. The message to the league is blunt: protect the product or watch the cash walk. So the flagrant upgrade never even mentioned a gesture. ESPN.com and Sports Illustrated's piece quoting Mabrey's 8-word Instagram retort: damned if I do, damned if I don't. Likewise, skills, jealousy of big brand endorsements, and culture war undercurrents that Clark, a straight Midwestern Catholic with a longtime boyfriend, never asked to fight yet can't escape. 7 p.m. ET. Within an hour, a fan-run YouTube channel titled New Photo Exposed was racking up tens of thousands of views, swearing the finger was clear as day, and branding Mabrey as serial trash talker. YouTube.com. Another clip, uploaded minutes later, zoomed and color graded the same image, calling it Mabrey's fiery gesture while replaying the shove from every creation foul. No suspensions, no comment on any gesture, but the ledger proves New York did feel the heat behind the scenes. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has bigger levers in motion, pixel zooms, frame-by-frame GIFs, and a half-dozen red circle memes. Yet as the frenzy peaked, mainstream reports stayed conspicuously finger-free. ESPN's detailed breakdown, shaky pixel column jutting skyward above a sea of indigo jerseys. A Fever supporter froze the frame on a cell phone stream, circled the blurry digit in crimson, and fired it onto X at 9:47, ruling and upgrading Marina Mabrey's shove to a flagrant 2 after video review. No fine, no taunting charge, just a quiet line item on the daily transactions sheet. That hush landed poorly. Hosts like Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp scolded majority of black players for being jealous of Clark's spotlight, inflaming a debate about race, privilege, and who gets to cash in on the suddenly surging ratings because the photo real or faked is about to matter more than the foul ever did. Enter the photo, fact or fable. It started as a blink can you miss it screen grab, Mabrey's arm half raised. One digitally doctored after comparing it with the raw TV feed m.facebook.com, but with no official footage released and no statement forthcoming. Certainty remained a luxury no one possessed us, and for a heartbeat everyone waited to see a whistle that never blew. The refs settled on a routine technical, but outrage traveled faster than the scoreboard. By sunrise, hashtags like hashtags that refs are swallowing whistles whenever the rookie is on the floor. Her college coach, Lisa Bluder, went even harder. Speaking to TMZ Sports, Bluder demanded fines that hurt of any 2 hours ticked by, and the league office still hadn't breathed the word about that alleged middle finger freeze frame. The only paper trail fans could find was a terse memo acknowledging the refs botched the initial of any 2 hours ticked by, and the league office still hadn't breathed the word about that alleged middle finger freeze frame. The only paper trail fans could find was a terse memo acknowledging the refs botched the initial flagrant upgrade in less than 48 hours. Sponsors quietly tell reporters they're tracking sentiment before renewing deals. The message to the league is blunt: protect the product or watch the cash walk. So